she really doesn't get how quotes actually work. Like, the entire point of quoting someone is to repeat them word for word, verbatim, not close enough, not inspired by, and definitely not Tiffany's personal remix. If it's not exactly what was said, it's not a quote. That's not an opinion. That's a definition. But here we are, living in the political twilight zone. And since we're already deep in this circus, let's address the one thing I still can't shake from that board meeting. Tiffany's wig. Yeah, I said it. That wig had its own subplot. I don't know what kind of industrial strength glue was supposed to hold it down, but the energy was pure escape mode. Something about her head just looked off. Like even the hair was exhausted from all the drama and was trying to file for early retirement. That thing was sliding back faster than unpaid rent on the first of the month. Every time I replayed the footage, I stopped listening to her words. I'm just watching the hairline packing its bags like, I'm out. Honestly, the whole thing could have been titled The Dictator and the Receding Hairline. And you know what? It fits perfectly. That look was screaming late-night Instagram meltdown. Except this wasn't her bedroom. This was a public board meeting. The chaos was cinematic. But I gotta ask, was that a style choice or a straight-up malfunction? Press 1 if the hairline held the line. Press 2 if it officially surrendered. Because now, no matter what she says, I'm just waiting for the wig to clock out and walk off set. Anyway, on to the real disaster. The meeting itself was a full-blown masterclass in dysfunction. At one point, a speaker literally said if anyone needed help, they could call him or Keith Freeman, 24/7, like it's a customer service hotline for the village of Dalton. Full press 0 for operator. Vibes. Then Tiffany jumps in, passionately defending why staff should still get paid even when documents weren't properly filed. And her big quote, "You must pay to stop." Girl, what? That sounded like something printed on a clearance rack hoodie. She dropped it like she was quoting ancient scripture, and I'm just sitting there like, stop, what? Accountability? Look, her main point wasn't terrible. Workers show up, they deserve their check. Fine. But the delivery, oh, she gave that line like she was Moses coming down the mountain. Like her word was divine law. Ma'am, this isn't your mixtape release party. This is taxpayer money, not karaoke night at City Hall. Thankfully, one trustee wasn't having it. They clapped back fast, reminding everyone that hiring and firing decisions go through the board. That's how government works. That's called checks and balances. Not Tiffany firing off weekend emails like it's an invite-only brunch. And they were crystal clear, it wasn't about targeting staff. It was about protecting process. Because when structure breaks, leadership fails. And right now, Dalton's looking like it's being run off text messages. Now pause for a second. Did y'all catch the man sitting next to Tiffany? Because the way he was looking at her? Phew, that was not professional focus. That was, I'd risk it all energy. Straight up, I know your Starbucks order and your sign, levels of devotion. He wasn't watching the meeting. He was watching her. Locked in, smirk loaded, like he was waiting for her to whisper, "Meet me after this." That wasn't politics. That was a Hallmark movie gone rogue. Back to business. Another trustee tried, bringing it back to reality. They dropped facts, not feelings. This wasn't about stopping paychecks. It was about accuracy, transparency, and keeping Dalton from financially collapsing. They warned that if you approve things blindly just to avoid drama, you're basically setting the whole budget on fire. And when it burns, Tiffany won't be the one holding the match. She'll be on camera smiling, saying we're all about transparency, while everyone else takes the heat. Because being on the board isn't about looking good. It's about doing good. It's about safeguarding taxpayer money and making hard choices, not running a small town like it's your personal Cash App. But Tiffany doesn't care about process. She wants performance. She wants catchy sound bites, twisted quotes, and dramatic one-liners to post on Facebook later. Sorry, but this isn't Sunday service. Nobody's shouting amen. Because you raise your voice, so let's recap, wigs slipping, fake quotes flying, crushes brewing, and taxpayer money being treated like monopoly cash. Welcome to Dalton, the show that never ends. And just when you think it can't get messier, Someone finally stands up with basic common sense. They say all this drama could have been avoided if deadlines were met and rules followed. Simple. Staff work hard, sure, but being on call 24/7 isn't a system. It's chaos disguised as commitment. The real fix isn't burning people out. It's building structure, systems, accountability. You know, the boring stuff that actually keeps things running. But Tiffany couldn't stop there. She had to flex. Saying if the board had questions, they could have just called her or Keith anytime, day or night. She set her phones always on. And let's be honest, that's not leadership. That's a red flag. Constant midnight calls don't scream dedicated. They scream disorganized. And tell me this, does Kamal even know about all these late night work calls? Because something about that setup doesn't exactly scream strictly business. But hey, I'll leave that. One alone. For now. Still, it's wild that someone preaching transparency spends all her time locked in a private bubble with the same guy. And here's the twist. Kamal was supposed to be the one with the side situation. But the gag? Tiffany is the side. And she doesn't even realize it. Or maybe she does. And pretending feels safer than facing the truth. She went on the radio claiming Kamal's been trying to get a divorce for 4 years. 4 years. Sis, if you're still trying after 4 years, you're not trying, you're comfortable. That's not progress. That's procrastination. That's not a marriage. That's a slow-motion train wreck. And the real question isn't if Tiffany knows. It's why she keeps tied herself to it. Because that right there is the real mystery. Because truth be told, Tiffany doesn't need him. She had the drive, the charisma, the platform to stand on her own. But instead, she's out here chasing a man who couldn't find integrity with a flashlight, a roadmap, and Siri yelling, "Turn left," every 5 seconds. She thinks she discovered a diamond, but in reality, she was the diamond. She was the bag. And now, she's just the direct deposit, the paycheck, the walking ATM. Because he's not chasing love, he's chasing money. And somehow, Tiffany let herself become the money. Then came her latest meltdown, and oh, it was a show. She's up there accusing trustees of skipping meetings, not reading documents, ignoring the app. Every other sentence. It's on the app. Like the app is the Holy Bible of Dalton. Girl, if that app worked half as good as your excuses, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. And then, right on cue, she does her favorite bit. Gives out her number like she's running a 1-800 crisis line. But when people actually call, all they get is voicemail, vapor, and recycled talking points. Next, she shifts gears to the land bank, and here comes performance of the night. Tiffany starts accusing trustees of voting on things they didn't understand. She waved around papers from that Buy Black housing program, the one promising free houses and $5,000 homes. Swearing up and down she'll share the details. Spoiler alert, she didn't. Classic Tiffany move. Wave around like confetti, flex it for the cameras, then vanish it like a magic trick. No receipts. No follow-up. Just trust me, I'm the mayor. That's not leadership. That's monarchy cosplay. And that affordable housing program? Straight-up trap disguised as opportunity. Those $1 homes? You need $20,000 cash on hand. Dalton licensing. A 90-day repair permit, plus 2 inspections. Fail one, and boom, you lose your $1,000 escrow. Just like that. Oh, and the profits? Investors take 75%. The village gets 25%. Tiffany brags about how a private inspector saved her from bad floor joists. But let's not forget, this is the same woman who once rented out a black mold rat-infested, sewage-leaking disaster, and had her friend sign off calling it safe. So now she tells people, make sure you hire your own inspector. Oh, really? When you're the one who taught folks how to fake safety reports in the first place. Please, it's not about protecting homeowners. It's about protecting her control. And those $5,000 homes? Even worse. You've got to live there 5 years. Fix everything in 90 days, pass multiple inspections, all while Tiffany controls the permits. And if she's known for anything, it's delays. She creates the bottleneck, watches you trip over it, then blames you for falling. That's not bad management. That's strategic sabotage. At the end of the day, Tiffany's game never changes. Maximum spotlight, minimum accountability. When something works, she's front and center with the scissors, smiling for the ribbon cut. When it fails, she's ghosting reporters faster than a bad Tinder date. She wants every headline, every ounce of praise, every flash of the camera, but not the grind behind it. In her version of the story, she's always a hero, even when the script paints her as the villain. And now, we gotta talk about the hairline. Because that hairline, it deserves its own census category. It's so far back, it looks like it's hiding from federal investigation. What do we even call that? No forehead left behind? Or maybe she should just bring it back down to a respectful Eddie Winslow line, right above the brows, where it belongs. If you caught that 90s reference, drop an Eddie W in the comments, because right now, it's giving pure sitcom rerun energy. Anyway, y'all behave, because you already know I won't. I'll keep clowning, keep pulling receipts, keep cutting through the smoke and spin. But just know this, it's never out of hate. It's out of accountability. Because I can roast you and still want better for my people. Mama still loves you, but she's not letting you slide. Not anymore.